Hello everybody, my name is Isaac Tears and I'm the Bard of Bardic Logs. And for once, I will not be your DM today. That honor is held by the big ol' pickle. Well, I, Isaac, am the player. I shall be playing Knott. And next to me shall be Gryph playing old Joe. And together we three welcome you to Ascension Part 5.
Quick question.
What's up?
Is he gonna count it? Well, I suppose so. He is a humanoid.
Add him to the
That
kill
is
count.
small or medium.
What was it last bit? He's a humanoid, but what?
Yeah, what?
Is he a humanoid that is small or medium?
Medium. If you're gonna resurrect him, then yeah,
Yeah,
you can
he's a
resurrect him.
humanoid.
Yeah.
Are you gonna resurrect? Oh my god! Sorry, I'm getting too excited. Please continue.
So, let me just take the thing off this. Fungal infestation. If a beast or humanoid that is small or medium dies within 10 feet, you can use your reaction to animate it as a zombie under your control, with 1 hit point. It obeys your mental commands, and the only action it can take is the attack.
Yeah, we don't want your
One
NPCs,
melee.
Pickle. We make our own NPCs.
Exactly
Listen.
my fault.
I'm fucking thrilled. Oh my god, that's
best
amazing.
thing-
Okay.
The best thing is, there's no time limit on how long the zombie lasts.
Yeah, unlike normal Raised Dead, it's a fungal infection, so it's directly connected to him. So we just have a permanent, like, fucking fungal friend now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You've
will
only got
say
1
so.
hit point, but I can raise 5 humanoid or beasts for long rest.
Yeah. So, and here's what happens: you animate his corpse, and
How does
You
do
kind of
do
see
you, like, blow mushrooms on him? Do you blow spores? I want to know. I want to hear. Like, the
yeah.
total-
Tell me how you cast the spell. That's a good question.
Please do. Please do.
So, he has seen that he wanted him killed. So what he's going to do is he's going to quietly drop a few seeds just on top of his body, sort of into his coat, so that the fungus can infest him from the outside in, from where he lost his arms, since both of his arms were gone. I don't know how he's going to make a melee attack, but in any case,
He's got bites. Well,
You
it's
mean
like
from his
we're like
first
Michonne
attack?
from The Walking Dead. We'll just use him like a fucking like zombie detector.
yeah, honestly,
Oh, yeah.
the plan is just meat shield.
Yeah, exactly. We could pick him up and just have him be like "Roar," as we fucking run ahead, arrows pelting into his corpse.
So, I'm going to reanimate him, but I'm also going to command him to stay down for the moment.
Okay.
Interesting. You don't
And
want to like
stay
show
down.
off to the king. You be like, look what I can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll
And the only other
tell
thing
the
I want you to
king
do is
that I'll get rid of the body.
you offer to get rid of the body.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
I
offer
like
to the
that.
king that I'm going to the body and get rid of it.
I like that a lot. I'll give rid of the body, my liege. And then animates him. That's awesome. That's actually pretty fucking badass.
That. Yeah, I was gonna make you roll sleight of hand originally, but I think you fucking with that kind of like gallant, my liege, allow me to formally dispose of the last of the trash. Like you kiss ass just enough that like it's
It's not noticed.
something where he falls for it. Yeah, exactly. He falls for it, and you get up in there and you plant your seeds, and you feel your magic take root in this new corpse. His arms gone, his throat but a skeletal remain, his head kind of like
Oh, Joe.
wakefully bobbing on top of it.
Oh, Joe, I look at you, I give you a wink, and then Knott pretends to do a puppet master as if he picks up the corpse with strings. And as he does, you animate him upwards as if I'm picking him up like strings.
Yeah, for sure. Not telepathically. We can definitely do that.
So I like tell him in his head telepathically,
Giving him-
right arm, and we pick up his right arm. Pretending as
And
if
then
a-
he just sort of applies it.
yeah, like
Yeah,
a
he
fake
just sort of
strings
waves
pulling
his
up.
stomach.
Yes. Make it not
Yep,
look like a
and
badass.
the man's corpse wobbles up to its feet as if it's being jerked around. Its head kind of lolling about on top of its body because it has no support from the neck anymore.
And Knott does a little like hand clap of like dusting himself off. Gestures to old Joe. He'll take care of the rest.
King Regis kind of nods at you both. He still has this very like strange expression on his face, but he opens his mouth to speak to formally charge you guys with your new task in light of these events. And you hear a voice from the bottom of the day speak up. I would like to say something. And you will turn and you note that the elven man in the back has distinguished himself away from the rest of the gaggle at the bottom of the stairs.
God damn it. We already got so much
In
other
light of these
shit going
events...
on.
You what?
Well, I was just saying, like, in Knott's head, we already got so much other shit going on. Go away.
The man kind of, and I can drop his character art in the chat.
Please do.
He looks like the epitome of a cold, calculating figure, but a dangerous one because he is
So he's the
muscular.
one who did the coup?
Wait, what?
So, like, easily, he's elvish, you just said he's calculating, you just gave us the big bad evil guy monologue. So he's the one that did the coup, and he's planning on killing the king, right?
No, good guess though. I appreciate the effort. You son of a bitch. Listen, this is what he looks like, alright? He looks like a cold, calculating warrior. He is ripped, he is stocky, but he has this air of just absolute poise and dignity around him. Not in the way that a noble would, but in the way of a war general would. Somebody who has earned so many stripes that everybody just knows this is a man of distinction. He looks, but he still
What's his name,
has very youthful
I'm just gonna
features.
write down a note about him.
I can go ahead and give you guys name breakdowns if you want for each of the characters. It's up to y'all. I can introduce them in turn, or I can have them,
Could I just
go ahead and have their names
quick?
listed.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I think I'm under it.
Yeah. So the elf guy's name is Roland the Unchained.
Cool, okay, there we go, there's my note. Oh, made my note in chat, feel free to take a look.
Oh my god. You're the fucking worst, I swear.
Gryph, you know what would be funny? If
So-
this really is the person who did the coup, and she's just like, son of a bitch, not again.
You guys don't know what I have fucking planned. Shut up.
We
Anyway.
don't, and that's why I'm laughing, because that joke might have been real, and that's what made me laugh.
Listen. Listen, I appreciate the instinct. I'll just say there's something different going on. I appreciate the instinct, though. But anyway,
So anyways, what does this man do? Roland the Unchained.
Yes. He
Definitely
looks
not
at
the big bad.
other... You what?
Definitely not the big bad. Because the actual big bad is going to end up being King Regis.
Unchained, big bad. So he looks around at each of the lords very stoically, obviously kind of sizing them up, kind of daring any of them to speak and interrupt him before he finally turns back to the king, just taking his time with this. I am withdrawing to Versia along with my troops. Whatever it is that's going on here with His Highness, Raydance should deal with its own troubles. I see no reason why my people and my kingdom should be involved in this.
How do you not see that as sus?
Regis
I'm
stands
so
up.
sorry. So elves attack here, and then he's saying that it's our issue that elves attack? That sounds so sus. How does that not sus, Pickle?
Yeah, and Regis stands up. He goes, "What are you insinuating? And what do you mean your kingdom? You have your region by my authority, and you dare speak in my court about withdrawing your support from my people, the ones who have been the very same to trade and house and feed your own."
Wow.
And
That
Roland
is actually
stands there.
some next level cool shit right there. If Roland's not killed now, woo!
Roland looks at the king very levelly, like he's not disturbed at all by what he says. And he goes, "If you're such a strong and powerful king, then why is it that suddenly you find all these assassins on your doorstep? It shows weakness, your grace."
I laugh. Not
And my
actually
people will
laughs.
have none
Not
of this
actually laughs out loud. That is some actual bullshit. It is the most powerful people who get attacked, you idiot. I actually call him an idiot. It sounds like you're just coming with an excuse to leave and make him more vulnerable. Sounds more like a coup master, if anything.
Yeah, the man at the bottom of the stairs speaks up as well. I couldn't agree more. This young man, ever since he's gotten into power, has been nothing but a menace and an insult to your reign, your grace. We should deal with him right here now.
I don't like that man, I will say, but he has a point.
Roland looks again at each of the lords very coolly and back at the king. His grace will do no such thing because his grace knows, as well as I do, you need the support of my soldiers. You need our strength and our prowess in combat, and our withdrawal is by no means an attempt at insurrection.
That's what it looks like.
But it's a sign of protest. Too long have my people been struggling with other lords, and he looks at very pointedly at the man who just spoke up. And I myself have been frustrated by this kingdom's inaction in aiding my plight.
So you are doing a coup.
Until...
It's like, he's literally just saying it. How is he not killed? He's actively saying, I disagree with you. I'm going to... Like, he's saying everything, but I'm doing a coup.
Old Joe is just going to look at him and say, maybe you need your warriors, but you definitely don't need you eating them.
Yeah. You were assigned this by
give
our
me an
king.
insight check.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're like, he seems like a warrior, but he may not seem evil. Do an insight. See if that's confirmed.
So, insight. I've only got a +5, so that's 15. Only rolled a 10.
Only a +5. Oh, the humanity. Oh.
Let alone, we all know that if you want to get stuff actually done, you have to actually work in the place to make it better. Like, just letting cops run around shooting people doesn't make shit better, right? So, like, this is on so many levels. This man is literally acting like a privileged little elf who's gonna do a coup. He's literally talking like a privileged little elf who isn't actually gonna help his people.
I love that you're having this reaction because when shit goes down later, if it does go down, I can't wait for you guys to find out the truth. I can't wait for you guys to find out the truth.
It doesn't.
Olja, what's your insight?
Even if he's in the right, I will still tell him as not he could have handled it better. Sorry, what did you get, Olja?
What was your insight one more time? Yeah.
That was a 15 for insight.
15, that's pretty good.
15.
Only +5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, the humanity.
The humanity.
Olja. You are looking at this, what appears to be, although obviously you know elves live for much longer, a younger elf. And you get no sense of malice coming from him, at least not in the same way that the elf that was before the king, the traitor that you just killed and you resurrected, apparently, which I love. It's not the same thing. Like, you get a very strong...
If he's sociopathic and not showing the emotion, that's even worse. Like, this is, like, scaring me now that this guy is not showing the emotion. Hello? Pickle? Hold on. My voice just went completely down. Hello? Hold on. Why is... Hello? Hi, hello?
Hello, we're all good, right?
Yeah, sorry, I like, just, my entire Discord, like, almost just crashed on me. I don't know what happened.
No, same. My, like, voice connection just completely flatlined for a minute.
That did it for you too, then?
Yeah. I don't know what that was.
I don't know,
yeah.
this could be 6 times.
Okay, I was gonna say, I wasn't like Wi-Fi, like Roxy was suggesting in my chat. Like, I was like, my Wi-Fi is fine. Like,
Yeah, it's not the Wi-Fi, it was Discord. Mine reconnected and disconnected like 6 times.
oh, Jesus. Ugh, fucking Discord. Sorry, I don't know what you last said, Pickle, before I had, like, my thing went out. Last thing I heard was him calmly, like a sociopath apparently, not having emotion when saying this, which is, like, even more terrifying and scary, I wanted to say. Like, he has no emotion, that doesn't make him innocent, that just makes him look even more like a sociopath.
So, Yeah, he said all of this stuff to the king very stoically, and old Joe, in his insight, basically got the sense of there's a kind of tired frustration in his voice, though his demeanor doesn't show it. And above everything else, old Joe gets this kind of cold sense of duty. It's not like anger like the elven assassin that was before the king had, where he was spitting and fuming and calling him a monster, trying to claw his face off. With Roland, there's just a kind of resigned disgust towards the king.
Okay, out of game, I need to ask you a question, Thermic. Is it just me, or is Pickle literally saying every single fucking thing to make him the BBEG? Like, she's not describing him as an innocent man whatsoever. She's describing like an angry person who would have a reason to kill the king.
Exactly, which is exactly why he's not the big bad, it's the king. Or the guard captain, maybe.
Or someone else. It's just, I don't like this guy. He definitely looks like he's sus as shit. Like he's gonna push us off a cliff.
Oh, don't worry about it. I've got a plan to deal with that. So, I picked up something on the assassin earlier when he was ranting and raving. I'm gonna ask this elf why he doesn't seem more angry about Nika.
Or the Fae.
Roland kind of lifts his chin up a little in pride, looking at Aljo, and he speaks again very stoically, very kind of nobly even. I care not what the Fae do beyond their interference with my people and our affairs. And this kingdom well knows our history with those who appear to be involved with the Fae. And my feelings on that matter, and my feelings and opinions on that matter are well known. Even if not to you, I'm sure our beloved regent would be happy to explain exactly my position and my people's history with this nation.
So what I'm hearing is instead of you wanting to help your people, instead of understanding that a kingdom's complicated, you're deciding to pull out instead of helping the kingdom reclaim and make sure everything's okay, to make it even more chaotic. This really doesn't look good on you. I'm just saying that to him. This really doesn't look good on you, Roland.
Roland,
I don't fucking believe a word he's saying.
Yeah.
You're inside checking on as to what?
I don't believe a word he's saying. After the inside check, my next question is going to be also with an inside check. I'm going to try to find out which of the courts, since the assassin also mentioned courts. I'm going to try and find out what he knows about the courts. That's another 15.
Yeah, I don't know if you're meaning to do this or not, Pickle, but everything this guy says is A, not gonna help his people, B, the worst decision for, it's literally he's the definition of a politician who his people will be disappointed in. They're like, we need help, you need to talk to the kingdom that we're part of, and he's like, I'm leaving, and they're like, what? We don't have representation anymore?
You guys have no fucking idea, and it makes me so fucking happy. All right, he's got a what is it? Yeah, I believe it's a -1 modifier. His character sheet's wigging out, so I'm having to do this on the fly.
Take your time if you need to.
Persuasion.
If you need to take your time to look at a character sheet.
No, yeah.
Perfect.
You
so
what?
meets it. I got a 15. You got a 15.
Yeah, meets it. You totally overpass this check. Old Joe, everything he's saying is true. You get no sense of lying from him. No attempt at, like, you know how some people try to do this, like, very underhanded speaking in code kind of thing. He is just very politely and in very, like, political language throwing shade at the king.
Ma'am,
he's completely
I'm
honest.
Confused. Why did you have him roll if he wasn't lying? That means he just had to tell the truth.
Listen, whenever people are doing...
Even with knowing that he's telling the truth, I don't believe him.
Yeah, I thought you only have them roll if they're trying to outdo their insight. I thought if he's telling the truth, wouldn't he just say it blatantly?
I've seen people do it different ways, like where if they want to just have them not roll, they can choose that. Or if they want to choose to roll persuasion or deception, that's a thing too.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. And in that moment, DM discretion. All right. Anyway, I'm teasing. So
which of the courts do you serve?
What?
Which of the courts? You just sort of tries to catch him off guard. Which of the courts do you serve?
Oh, So you're asking Roland about the courts that the
'cause he would
elf
have no
mentioned?
idea about the mist.
Yeah. Roland kind of shakes his head side to side and he goes, I know nothing about these courts, and frankly, I don't care. My people's integrity and the preservation of our strength is what's important
so you
to me.
don't serve a
And
court
right
of
now,
the
this
Elvish
kingdom-
Queen, then? Then you're not a representative of the Elven Queen.
What? No. And he like
or
very
of the
like
Elven
he gets
people, or anyone. Because
Not-
if you're not of a court, you're not allowed here, because you're not representing anyone then. Who are you?
not. You see a very disgusted and very enraged kind of, but still at the same time somehow cold expression overtake Roland's features. Are you seriously insinuating that I am somehow involved with the Fae because I'm an elf?
Racist?
the
I call him
dragon-
racist. Are you a racist? Because I didn't even insinuate that. I insinuated that you're not supposed to be here or even have a military if you're not part of a court or represent a government official of some sort. So who are you if you're not representing the elves? You racist.
I am the
If he keeps saying as cold as he is, I'm gonna cast Frostbite at him.
No.
Yeah, that was some racist shit. This elf is a racist. What the fuck?
Roland spits on the ground and he goes, I am a representative of the elves of Versha. I am here as a lord for the Court of Lords festival. I am here at the
Then you should've
invitation
said
of
that.
the king, and I'm now rejecting it. I will tend to my people. I will tend to the elven interests of the elves of Versha and of this kingdom, as I always have.
Then
and I will
you
not
would have
let
to
some
stay
puppet
instead
stand
of
in the way
that.
of that.
We're not the puppet. I am the one calling you out. You're the real puppet of whatever court you're following.
Roland screams, I follow no court, and he's like starts
You
reaching
just
for his
said you
sword.
did! I yelled that back at him.
The
Like, you just
dragon
said
boar
you
next
did!
to- no, he didn't.
He
The
just said he
dragonborn next
rules
to him
as the
stops him.
court of the elves. You just said that, Pickle. I'm sorry. You
No,
did
he's
just
the
say that.
representative. He's the representative of the elves.
Yeah, but you just said in the court of blank. That is of working in
No,
the court,
yeah,
honey.
he's here for the Court of Lords festival. Court of Lords,
Yes,
as in
that
all
he
the
is
lords of all the
working-
respective regions.
Yes, that means he's part of a sector. He could have just said that.
Yeah,
The
you.
Dragonborn.
I cast Frostbite.
There's no need for that because the Dragonborn next to him, as he's starting to get heated, he goes, "Oh, hang on there, Roland. You're getting a little heated. We don't need this. We all see and hear
He's a
that you're
Dragonborn.
concerned about your people.
God.
You're still gonna cast
children.
Frostbite."
Yeah, he's acting up. He kind of deserves it.
Okay,
Best thing
put
is-
your attack roll in the chat so I can see it.
Oh, no, I was kidding about the thunderclap. The best thing is, he's this elf that's going on and on about his people and this and that, and
And then does
now
nothing
he's
to help his
acting out
people.
like a young elf. No, he's acting out like a young elf who's just gotten out of...
Like a
the
child
Feywild,
who can't
basically.
handle the fact that he was supposed to claim where he's from, and then in the court, and then when I called him out on it, acts like a child that I disrespected him, that he wasn't there. Then claim where you're from, idiot. Like, it's not that hard.
I make a petition to King Regis. I want to rename him. He's not Roland the Unchained. He's Roland the Unhinged.
Ooh, that's a good one. You all are rather unhinged.
Yeah, the king snorts and he goes, "Clearly, Roland, you forget yourself. Nobody here is insinuating that you or your people are affiliated with this pest." And he looks over at the corpse of the elfin man, standing next to old Joe.
I've
Yeah,
done
we're
literally
just saying
nothing
you're
but
a
ask you questions regarding your status, and you've done nothing but freak out. If you would have answered finally and blatantly, none of this would have happened.
Roland kind of shoves off the dragonborn that was trying to stop him before, and he kind of collects himself a bit and he goes, "Perhaps if I had had the support from this kingdom, I would have had the patience and wherewithal to do so. But I see no more reason for us to continue these civilities and these frivolities when we both know the real nature of our relationship, your grace. Send your representatives if you want to negotiate. I have no more interest in this. Good day." And he walked out.
As Roland is walking out, old Joe will loudly say, "Can we start with investigating him and
Not will say, can we petition the Elven Queen to send a better representative who actually has patience for her people?
And at you guys.
Go and see the Elven Queen since you're the king of the whole region.
Yeah, in fact, that is a good question. If he is the king of the whole region, why wouldn't he just go talk to the Elven King or representatives themselves?
You guys get this, understand, well, how do I say this?
Is the king also racist towards elves?
The only one that was racist so far has been the elf, to be fair.
Yeah, maybe there's a reason he's racist towards the elves.
Roll.
Oh my god.
How do I want to do this?
Oh, Joe, that was so funny when he said civilities, as if he was being civil. Oh, I came into this entire thing uncivilized and rude. Oh my god, and he got what he got back towards him. He acted like a child.
I'm just waiting on a roll. I can do deception, I can do persuasion.
Yeah. Do perception.
Well, is
Do
that
perception.
persuasion or perception? So perception is a 15 plus 8.
Damn, boy!
Oh,
Joe
right.
is proficient in wisdom.
You what?
Old Joe is very proficient when it comes to wisdom.
To looking at things.
Yeah.
With a passive of 23, he better be.
He better be, absolutely. He gets like a 1. Oh, I can't see shit.
Old Joe, throughout all of Roland's outbursts, you note that the king looks furious, but you can tell that he is clearly biting back his tongue. And the prince standing next to him has a very uncomfortable and guilty look on his face.
Oh, old Joe, I distract the king. You take the prince to the side and talk to him. Performance check. I like to walk up to the king and try to put my arm around him and say, "My liege, we are here to support you." As you can't tell,
The king immediately backs your hand away, and he goes, "I have no need to be approached with such fucking patronization from you lot right now. I have my...
Patrons, I was trying to support you. I walk back to old Joe, offended.
No, the king collapsed.
This kingdom is like this close from every single lord in the entire kingdom being poisoned by old Joe and Knott. I swear to God.
Yeah, the king...
I'm currently looking at the text poison.
Oh, are you right now?
We are, no, like,
Oh my God.
I'm sure, I don't know if you could tell, me and old Joe are about to, like, we don't give a fuck about the king. Every question we prompted to Roland was to try to get info that the king wasn't telling us. And on top of that, like, we don't trust anyone here. I think the only one we like, maybe, is the giant halfling over there. Everyone else, I'm pretty sure me and old Joe are more than happy to off ourselves.
Watch how we ruined Pickle's campaign by killing the big bad accidentally in 63.
I mean, it's not our fault for having antisocial people have to do social politics.
Listen, you guys don't know what the fuck's going on, and you're jumping to conclusions, and I love it. I love it. It means I'm doing my job right.
That's perfect. So, Wall of Water at King Regis and the Prince.
Wait, really? Are we doing this?
Are you
really.
poisoning the king?
Are we just gonna assassinate the king ourselves and then walk out? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, let's just kill the king, kidnap the prince, and follow the elf.
Are we doing this to completely fuck over her thing just because she acted a little too cocky right now and said that she's doing a good job? Should we? Should we? Make sure she doesn't get as cocky?
Honestly,
Listen.
I still have 1 third level spell slot. We can do this.
Oh, we haven't rested yet. We should be going on a long rest and then kill the king.
As you guys are over to the side, kind of talking about what you might want to do,
In our minds.
you see the Dragonborn kind of speak up once more, and he gives a sweeping bow to the king, and he goes, "My liege, forgive me. I must also withdraw back to the port." And the king, like, immediately snaps to, and he's like, "Don't tell me that you're going to support that insurrectionist in withdrawing your support from this kingdom. No, my liege. After all, we all know that the port wouldn't exist without your grace's long line of support and civility towards my people.
That sounds almost
But-
like a double-edged sword there. I can't leave because I'll die without you.
And Empress does like another kind of like half bow to the king, and he goes, "But
Oh, he's
I'm afraid
the
that-
insurrectionist. Everyone's a
He-
suspect.
he goes, but my liege, I must be frank. This new attack on your kingdom is concerning. I myself must go back to my people to begin investigating on my own, and see to it that this is not a threat that will spread to the other regions."
I'm gonna put
And
my
he looks very quickly at the other lords, and he goes, "Surely you feel the same."
hand on my
And you
hip.
see the other three
and-
figures kind of muttering to each other.
I'm gonna put my hand on my hip and say to old Joe, is it just me, or do fucking, like, these royals take a lot of offense to a single attack? Like, they're acting like the kingdom's coming to a fall when, like, you could just keep killing the attackers and then find who's handling shit. Clearly, it's a single issue of civil unrest, and then you just move on with your life.
Old Joe looks towards Knott as he's saying this in his mind, nods his head along, and then just thinks back at him. You want to kill a king?
He laughs in old Joe's head, says, maybe another time. You know, as time goes on, I'm agreeing with you more that governments are terrible. Maybe we should just take the money he gives us and leave into the woods and leave all this governmental political bullshit for them. Because even that Roland guy, he's not even representing his people. What a bad politician he is. I actually feel bad for the elves at this point.
Yeah, Pickle. You remember you gave me poison when I created
I?
Old Joe?
Yeah, you gave him
Oh,
a lot of
God.
poison. I actually do remember that. You were like, he was like, can I have one thing? And you're like, sure. You're like, poison. And you went, whatever. What could you do with that? You literally said, whatever. What could you do with it?
Oh,
Are you guys about to
I'll
fucking
throw it
do the coup? Are you guys about to be the insurrection?
No, we're gonna poison the king and then leave. A coup means we want it. We're just gonna leave. We don't like your government.
You're gonna create a vacuum of power.
Yeah, and then just
The
leave
best
because we
thing
don't
is,
like your government.
The best thing is, you haven't served dinner yet since the court was still in session.
Wait,
and then there was
Pickle. Do we have to
I'm
allow
gonna
rest, or
cast
do we
Mel.
level up and get a rest? 'Cause some people DMs do that. I never asked you. Do we, when we level up, do we get a rest, or no?
Let me think on that.
Because I don't think we're gonna kill him now
I'm
either
gonna-
way. But like,
Oh, you.
oh, she
I
said
mean,
yes?
the way I usually do level ups is like I let you go ahead and like modify your stuff, and then you reset your stats when you long rest next time. If that makes sense.
Ah,
Like you go ahead and like add your additional hit points, and you go ahead and like add your additional features. But to
that-
get
that
all your
works
hit
perfectly.
points back and stuff, you go ahead and rest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that makes total sense. I get it. I get you, Pickle.
Oh, perfect. Cool shit.
Then in that case, we will wait. I just tell the old Joe, we're surrounded by people, soldiers. We just got through a fight. I don't have any spells. If we're going to leave a power vacuum, then leave because we don't agree with the government that invited us in, then we're gonna have to do it another day. What if instead of leaving to the woods, we just stay a day, rest, and then kill the king and leave?
So we can leave. Huh.
We could always rest till tonight and just kill him in his chambers and leave.
As they're having this discussion, Old Joe's going to ask the king, when will dinner be served?
Yeah. Cool. Since everything's gone on, would you mind if we stay the evening at the castle, my lord?
The king's kind of collapsed back into his hand, like rubbing his face as he's like dealing with these new matters, and he goes, Oh, yes, my son, Lunik. And he waves him forward, and he goes, please show our new guardians their chambers
Please.
for the festival.
I don't say this out loud. I say in Joe's head. Please do, alone, Prince. Come and escort us. And we start leaving
Oh,
alone
good.
with the prince.
Yes, you fucking do. Oh my god, so funny.
I don't think you understand, Pickle. Everyone that we're gonna kill in your campaign are people who piss us off. Your BBEG didn't apologize to us. Your king acted rude when Knott was trying to be nice. We are just who we are.
The main takeaway from this campaign is chivalry. Fucking do it. Otherwise, get stabbed.
This is a base thing. If you're just not rude to Knott and Joe, we won't kill you. But everyone here has been rude except the giant who's trying to fuck Joe.
Yeah. So
That's honestly be a Maxi advert. Chivalry, just do it or die.
Do it or die. That's our new Bardic Logs t-shirt. Chivalry, do it or die.
I love it. Do it or get fucked.
By the way, before we go, I do want to say, Pickle, I think you're doing a fantastic job, and thank you so much for DMing.
Oh, dude, I fucking am thrilled you guys like this.
I'm about to ruin
Funny
the
is
game.
you guys are so suspicious of Roland. I'm pissing myself over here. It's so funny.
Well, the thing is that we're like, I hope me and old Joe have made it clear. We're suspicious of everyone. We just went on Roland because he was the most outspoken, and being an outspoken, emotional person, most likely to accidentally give information.
Yeah, like the assassin that gave me information on the Feywild.
I like to imagine in our heads while we're
involved
walking with the prince, this is me and old Joe talking to God right now.
Yeah. And by God, we mean we're talking to each other.
We are gods, you're right. But jokes aside, we would like to walk with the prince. We have some questions for him.
All right. I uploaded his picture to the chat, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is Prince Lunik.
What an honest on God, kind of handsome. Love his hair.
And you see the princess also stand up on the king's left to go ahead and join you guys, basically.
No.
But the king also waves her back down, and he goes, "Solana, please, I need you to just leave them be for the evening. It seems as though they're caught in their own affairs, and I could frankly use your comfort in all this." And she kind of like rolls her eyes and sits back down with her cat.
Ew, that's gross to say comfort with your daughter like that, bro. But I don't say that out loud, but I just want to state in old Joe said, that was kind of creepy, right?
Old Joe is just concerned for the cat. Why did he specifically say sit down with the cat?
Oh, I think that's just to keep her there. I don't think he's going to mess with the cat.
No. The princess she had her cat. She was just kind of sitting there very bored, like stroking the cat and all that. She stands up to leave. The king goes, no, please stay here with me, boo-boo.
Yeah, don't worry, old Joe. The cat's just fine. It's fine. The cat's fine. It's okay. You're okay.
Yeah. She's just
Do
like,
you have a picture of the cat, by the way?
Wait, I might have a picture of my own cat somewhere. Let me see if I can upload one.
That's the princess's cat. Yeah, but old Joe, could you believe he said our own affairs while we're trying to help him? This guy just is asking to get killed.
Yeah, he really is.
Do you know what's funny, old Joe? Is that like I have some because I'm a rogue 1 now. So while Pickle gets her cat pick, I could rogue it and just kill the king if you want to give me that poison.
No, I don't want to kill the king. He's just a consequence. I'm just gonna kill everyone.
Oh, so we go to the Great Feast and we poison everyone. I have a +9 to stealth, by the way, so I could poison everyone's. Oh, 6 to stealth.
Oh, I've got meld into stone, so no one will see me.
Cool. So we're gonna kill the entire council here. Great.
Yeah, we're gonna kill the whole castle. The only one who's not gonna die is the.
And then we leave and still act like heroes of the Westwood.
Yeah, we're still gonna be the heroes of the Westwood. We don't care about them. We just care about the woods.
We don't care about the king. This BS bullshit here. I love it. Honestly, I love this. And I love that Pickle is like playing the characters perfect. She played Roland angry. She played the cats. She played the fucking everyone. She's playing such a good set of characters right now.
Thank you. Also, I'm totally self-inserting. These are my babies. These are my fucking kitty cats. I love them. Pick which one you want for the campaign.
Oh, I want the bottom one, the chonker.
Yeah.
I want Linguini. Oh, that's the white one.
Yeah, I'll make the bottom one.
It's like kind of like
Ami, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She is a chonker. I took her to the vet last week, like I said, and they said she weighs 13 pounds. I was like, 13 pounds!
Jesus, what a chunky bitch.
Listen, they're both my lovely ladies. I love them so much. Anyway,
Oh, yeah.
so now Ami's in the campaign as canon. Anyway, so let me kind of change. Yes, let me change up the ambience for that as well. It's something a bit more chill.
Yeah,
just because it's like
I don't think we're gonna kill the prince. We're just gonna question him right now. So yeah, we're good.
If you
We're
guys
good.
kill the prince, I will actually shit a brick.
Are we? Are we gonna kill the prince? Okay, then never mind. When he takes us to our room where Jason Vora has seen him by slamming him halfway into a bed.
Yeah, and by
No,
now
I think what we're gonna do is if we kill him, I'm gonna cast Purify Food and Drink, and then we eat him.
What?
No evidence.
I can't eat, fucker.
No
I'm
evidence.
I'm a puppet.
Jesus.
Exactly. You're quite literally a moving trash can.
What if we just put him inside my hollow chest and we can just keep him there, and then as we kill the king, unravel my chest and his body just put it onto the fucking table as they're all poisoned.
Or we kidnap him, kill everyone else in the castle with poison.
And then we put the prince as the new king. And we become his royal advisors, and if he doesn't listen to us, we kill him.
Jesus H. Oh, I'm losing my mind. This is so good. This is so funny.
So I just like to point this out for you, so that you don't think I'm just doing things for shits and giggles.
Yeah. Okay.
No. Listen. I never have ever doubted you guys playing your characters exactly as how they should be played. I just think, like, I always think it's so funny that I'm like, oh, surely they can't be that chaotic. And you guys are over here like, what if we kill the king, put his son on the throne, and basically make ourselves the kingdom?
Yeah, pull a fucking Cleopatra. Pull a fucking Cleopatra, but then Cleopatra kills us, and he becomes the king, and I'm proud of him. I hold him and say, you always were like a son to me.
Oh my god.
King Tut his ass. Let's do it, bro.
Honestly, I'm contemplating. Like I said, old Joe he's been weirdly specific with campaign.
Oh yeah, no, I've come. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gryph. Old Joe is anti-governmental, right?
Oh, old Joe is anti anything not nature.
Yeah, and I'm with old Joe, so I feel like Knott has like taken those anti-governmental. Even if it's anti-not nature, he's taken more. At least in this experience, after we save their fucking lives, and then also watching all the royals act like spoiled children in front of him, he has grown to despise and adapt old Joe's. I would like to add a character trait to Knott. He has adapted old Joe's non-nature into anti-governmental. He hates the government of the lands. He sees the royals as nothing but spoiled brats.
Yeah.
Listen, with fucking royals, like, you never know what they're gonna be like. So far, Chica and Aaron have been the most chill to you. And you guys haven't really interacted with the dwarf lady either, to be fair. But, you know, the other guys are kind of bitches because they're used to being bitches and getting away with it.
Yeah, and that's why bitches gotta be taught
all
Peggy stitches.
Yeah.
Bitches
Exactly.
gonna learn.
Bitch-
What do you need to say?
Yeah.
We gotta teach some hoes!
Yeah. So that's it works out perfect because I can protect them from.
Cool.
Honestly, I can just sneak them.
So in that case,
And then
we'll keep
poison
Aaron
them.
and Chica alive, and we'll just be like, so you're cool with this, right?
Aaron probably would.
Probably not, but the thing is, we're just gonna leave. We're not even gonna actually put ourselves as royalty. So we'll just leave. They can deal with the consequences, not us.
Oh my
Yeah, we're
god.
just like, congratulations, you're the new king and queen. Oh, the new
Yeah.
queen and queen.
Perfect, so let's go into our hotel room. Pickle, take us to the hotel room with the prince. You got some questions to ask him.
Yes. Well, before we sidetrack any fucking more. So, but at this point as well, it's gotten to be sunset breaching on night kind of thing. So it's well around the time to start going to bed anyway. This whole debacle has taken a good couple hours. And so Prince Lunik kind of silently and a little stiffly kind of walks with you down the castle hallways, different servants about their business milling back and forth, as he leads you up to one of the towers where you have a two-bedroom room overlooking the expanse of Radiance as people are in the streets below and their voices and the smells and spices of their cooking build back up to you.
I can't smell shit.
You're right. You're right. Listen.
So you're just teasing me with human sensory. How dare you?
Well, you see Knott leaning out the window and frantically gesturing the air towards his nose, trying to waft some smell into it.
Yeah, and I just look depressed as I can't. I miss being human. I don't remember who I was, and I still miss it.
But so...
As soon as Ojo smells it, he's going to the kitchen.
Oh, Kirby can relate to this.
So,
Do you want to end this session with us attempting to poison the entire castle?
Yeah, I hope you're ready, because we're not doing your story, Pickle. I'm sorry.
Listen.
I'm glad
my
you
story
enjoyed writing it,
is
but
that I
I'm
have
about
the
to
story.
derail it.
What?
I'm glad you wrote the story that you enjoyed. I'm about to completely destroy it.
Yeah, we're glad you wrote a story you're proud of, but rip it up and throw it out, please.
This is literally just kill the kingdoms. The siege campaign is that you guys are sieging the other kingdoms. All right. Oh my god.
What? Did they all?
Oh my
were
god,
they
that's
not
right. We were
chivalrous?
going to do a siege campaign, and instead we're here with the royals for some reason, making us the fucking guardians of the forest. And then oh my god. We're gonna make different characters. Old Joe and Knott are the invaders.
Listen.
You said level 16 and a level 1 barbarian.
I've got my ideas for the siege part. Don't you worry. We'll get to that when we get there. For now, though, you guys are in this very not as exquisite and expansive bedroom as you might have come to expect for one of the other lords, but it's still pretty sizable. There's room enough for the two beds. There's a little wash bin and a nightstand near the window looking out over the town. And Prince Luna kind of speaks up very timidly and he goes, apologies, we'll see. The festival leaves the castle very full, what with all the attendants and such, although I imagine that with Roland and Emrys leaving, there's not as many attendants now, is there?
You sound nervous, I say. Well, in my head, I speak to Old Joe. So this happened at the same time. I speak to Old Joe in my head saying, should we tie him up, knock him out, what do you think? But then I say to him, as I step forward to him, you look nervous. Would you like to speak your mind to us? Your father's not here to yell at you anymore.
Ooh, both of you roll persuasion checks.
Perfect.
If you give up a calming demeanor.
15.
22 with a nat 20.
Oh my god. Listen, I like to imagine that maybe Old Joe, you've managed to get a bird to kind of perch on your finger as it was
You
circling
look like
the tower that
Snow
you were in.
White.
Yep, basically, you are full on Disney princessing it right now. And so with, you giving up a far less intimidating demeanor than what Prince Lunac had expected, and not with your reassurance as well that your father's not here, you're in a safe space, he kind of looks at you both and he kind of sighs and sits on the nearest bed.
Oh, if I may, Pickle, I'd like to sit next to him, put my hand on his shoulder, and say, we're only being, brutish because we had to. We're not normally harsh people, we promise.
Oh, no, I understand.
More to keep himself from bursting out laughing.
He starts laughing.
Maybe Old Joe is a bit brutish, but I'm not.
Well, Prince Luna kind of nods to you both, and he goes, I'm well aware that the wilds can be rather rough, and I'm grateful that you both are such strong individuals to take care of it. Frankly, it's just that, well, this entire festival's been a bit of a mess. What with those outbursts and the attack and the Fae, it seems like we're getting caught up in a bunch of well, frankly, I don't know what we're getting caught up in again.
Well, frankly,
I'm
me and
gonna
old
ask
Joe
him
seem to
about-
be caught up in political bullshit when we were trying to become keepers of the forest. So besides defending ourselves from your coup, your father's coup, and then having to try to suss out people who could probably threaten us, what else would you have us know, my princely prince?
I was
He
just
looks
gonna
at you.
ask him,
Oh, good.
what do you know what happened to that elven lady?
Yeah. Oh, and the elven zombie is
What-
still
what
with you,
was
by
it?
the way. His head was like, it's
Yeah.
still not supported, so it was bobbling down the hall as he was walking with you guys. Still in that kind of clunky marionette style that
I'm
I
Knott
take
had fitted his
like a
people.
candlestick and shove it down his spine to give him a new spine.
Yeah, I was doing the same.
Great minds think alike, old Joe. Great minds think fucking alike, my dude.
Prince Lunik kind of looks very warily over at your zombie companion, who's just kind of directly facing a wall.
Oh,
And is like, his head's not leaning up against it, he's just staring at it as close as he can possibly get.
don't worry about him. He's dead.
Well, yes, I know. I saw you rot out his throat.
Yes.
Good show, by the way.
Thank you.
But, well, to answer your question, and he nods towards Old Joe first. Frankly, I'm surprised you guys don't know about the history this country has with our elven people and the Fae.
Well, either your father's done a fantastic job hiding it, like Roland claims, even though I will say, I am suspicious of Roland's claims of your father, as your father seemed very upset about it. That's why I would like your info, young prince. However, I will say, Roland definitely didn't handle that correctly. If he wanted to care for his people, he would have cared for them. So, with everything that's going on, please, give us the breakdown of the history of the elves, your father, everything, young prince. And we will protect you ourselves.
Roland, or not Roland, sorry. Wrong person. He busts through the window. Anyway, kidding.
Bitches, I'm here! I heard you said you doubted the king.
You were right all along. I'm the traitor. Ha ha ha.
Oh, he says not, just rips his fucking puppet head off. Ow!
So, Prince Lunik kind of blushes and he looks on. What's up?
Huh?
Since Roland came through the window, we're in a castle, it's probably very upset. I'll just cast Thunder Slap and smack him down and step out the window, he dies from full damage.
Yep, fake Roland goes back out that window. He's dead.
But so, Prince Lunik,
Blushes.
he blushes. Sorry, I got distracted by a thing. He blushes and kind of looks down at his hands where he's kind of wringing them nervously, and he's like, well, I suppose it's only sensible, considering that you both are somewhat of, not in touch with the history of this kingdom as much as other people might be. And he takes a slow breath as he goes, see, we've had problem with the Fae and the Feywild for generations now. I can't even remember how far back when. But ever since the Feywild seemed to start touching on this area of Fenton for whatever reason, we've had our, well, and he kind of like has that guilty look pop back on his face that you picked out earlier, Old Joe. My lineage in particular hasn't always been the kindest towards our people's elves. Ignorance and fear, you understand.
So would you like to do better
It's not
than your
something we're
father?
proud of. And he straightens up and he perks at that. Oh, but of course, this kingdom means everything to me, and
So if your father were to
frankly-
disappear or have maybe step down, understanding that new blood is needed, and maybe we could re-establish a communication with the elves, saying that you are more happy to communicate as a new king.
Roland kind of frantically waves his hands, and he's like, "Oh, I'm flattered, really, but I still have much to learn. And besides, it's not."
Is Roland here now?
You what?
No, she just keeps mistakenly saying Roland.
Oh,
I know,
fuck.
that's why.
I'm sorry. You guys have got me rolling on the brain. I swear, it's not intentional.
That's
Sorry.
okay. It's probably because I
Prince
keep
Nick.
talking shit on him. You're like, oh, maybe he's right.
He's everyone's fucking disguise. He's their backup. Anyway, so Prince Lunik kind of, he goes like, don't get me wrong, I'm very much looking forward to when I'm able to lead, and I hope I can lead it in the right direction, but you must understand that these kinds of issues, I'm still learning about them myself. I mean, with Roland, for instance, like, he is quite older than his appearance, and he remembers the first elven enslavements and the harm that's been inflicted on his people. And a lot of that had to do with the fear of the Fae, you understand, seeing as elves hailed a lot of their lineage from the Feywild.
Well, that's where they get their lack of illusionary affectance, right? They're not affected by sleep, etc. because of this.
They might
Precisely.
also lose their sense of chivalry from there.
Well,
You what? What was that?
What did you say, Ojo?
They might also be losing their sense of chivalry since they apparently don't go back to the Feywild anymore.
I suppose it depends if you consider the Feywild chivalrous. Either way, though, it's not like it's like every race has been enslaved by another. It's better to just try to be progressive, is it not, Fine Prince?
I couldn't agree more, but there's still a lot of wounds in this country that run deep. I mean, Versha and Bertgold have been, squabbling for generations now, ever since the first elven slaves were liberated.
Old, not like pinches his brow. I mean, look at old Joe. He's an orc. His people were enslaved by the humans too, and yet they lived just fine. This is, like I said, a petty squabble where everyone enslaves everyone, and then fights about it afterwards, so only one person remains. I would like peace, not this.
As would I, but there's also a very complicated history with the Western region in particular and its elven population.
It's only complicated if you make it complicated.
Prince Lunik shakes his head and he goes, no, you see, there was a point in time, oh goodness, my history is failing me. I believe it was 300 or 400 years ago.
Oh,
back
wow.
back when Roland was a boy, surely. But
If
you
even
see,
born yet.
yes, and you see, there was the king of that time. The fear towards the Feywild was at its peak, as there had been many, many different sudden disappearances and attacks and the like throughout the kingdom and every region. And so the king, well, frankly, in my opinion, abusing his power, he rounded up
Indeed.
every elf of the kingdom and he took them to Versha in order to do slave work, mining the minerals and the ore of the mountain for construction and trade. And those who didn't obey were killed. The only
That
elves in
is
all
disgusting.
Hearthurt live in Versha now.
That is indeed disgusting. But that was also multiple generations ago, isn't it?
Lunik has a very crestfallen look on his face, and he goes, not to the elves. It's like I said, even Roland, and he is considered their leader at this point, he was still a boy. He remembers what it was like being rounded up as a slave and watching his kinsmen be slaughtered. In this kingdom,
So
frankly,
he is being racist
never
then,
really
by saying that
apologized
all
for that.
humans are the same.
Lunik kind of goes back to wringing his hands awkwardly. I try not to be harsh towards Roland, as I understand his anger.
I mean,
Well,
fair.
some of what he said is true. My father's never really fully atoned for what he did, for what his lineage did.
But why does
rather.
your father have to atone for what his father's father did? That was not your father's actions.
Lunik kind of sighs again, and he goes, well, if you ask me, it has to do with Count Gerard.
Who?
The,
Please tell us more.
apologies, friend. Count Gerard is the man you saw. He's the Lord of Bertgold, the region north of Versha.
That gross-looking man who was, frankly, kind of rude and interrupted me and Roland's debate.
And Lunik laughs a little at that, and he's like, yes. You see, Count Gerard has always been something of a, well, if you don't mind me saying so, and he has a little mischievous look on his face, a bootlicker, in my opinion.
He kisses your father's ass in order to stay in, then.
Yes, for sure. And you see, Bertgold, whenever the elven slaves were, frankly supporting the entirety of this kingdom, they were the region that had the most slaves and benefited the most from their labor. So whenever
So he's like the South. Got you.
I was not ready for that comment. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Inspiration.
Thank you. I'll take the inspiration. But not will say. So he's like from the southern borders then.
So Prince Lunik just kind of he like looked a little confused, and he's like, I suppose I mean Priya is actually a pretty progressive region, especially since Aaron took over.
I haven't
things
been there
considered.
yet. Maybe I'll have to go back.
Oh, it's delightful. You see, there's not a lot of woods there, so they have the least interaction with the Fae. But there's all these different caravans that come through from Faerun, and we get to have such wondrous trade through there. It's so colorful, and there's so many different people there, and so many different cultures. It's fascinating.
Fascinating. So you're saying it's almost like a mirror. Instead of the southern borders being hostile towards other races and cultures, it's the northern borders.
I suppose so. What country are you from again?
Oh, a place called Utah.
Utah. Ah, I see. It
Yes.
sounds so interesting.
Yes.
But
jokes aside, Knott
Prince-
will actually just not say the fucking southern border shit. He'll just nod his head and be like, "Oh, so he is so you're not just a bootlicker, but a disgusting man then of low immoral ilk."
Yes, and ever since, obviously Count Jaren didn't live to see the elves be emancipated, but ever since the elves were given their proper freedom and they were given Versha as their own region to live in peace and harmony with the other regions, Bickle has constantly been in conflict with them, if not outwardly in the form of squabbles and whatnot. It's been over discussions with trade and resources.
So your father's comment about that place being given under his power was kind of out of pocket then.
Frankly, yeah, it wasn't fucking right. It was, and he goes, "Oh, excuse me."
No, please, cuz old Joe doesn't give a fuck, right, old Joe?
Yeah, and Oljo, you're in the kitchen doing your own fucking business right now. There's a little
Cooking with
kitchenette
birds
area,
and
a
rabbits.
little divider.
He's like grabs
Yeah,
a
yeah.
rabbit, tosses it outside to go fetch him some fucking carrots.
You guys are in a tower, bear in mind, so please don't throw any rabbits out the window. It will go hurtling towards its death.
Then we will not throw rabbits out of a window.
Yeah, thank you.
What about if he polymorphs a prince into a rabbit?
Oh, you turned into a rabbit.
No, we polymorph the prince into a rabbit.
Why?
Oh, is that what you're doing right now?
No, I'm still sneaking to the kitchen.
Oh,
Okay,
you're thinking
okay.
out loud. Okay, I was like, what? I'm talking to him.
I was about to fucking lose it, because that would have been so funny, like, all this expedition going on. Polymorph!
Right? Yeah. I'm like, exposition, trying to understand. Maybe we set the prince up on the crown. Maybe we don't kill the entire kingdom. Maybe the prince and Chica, maybe and Aaron, maybe they're the good. Oh, he's a rabbit now.
Yeah, by the way, just in case I forgot to establish earlier, Prince Lunik, like, he looks like he's 15, maybe 16. He's still clearly a young prince. You know?
Oh, youth can still be talented at royalty.
I'm not saying this to dissuade you or encourage you in any way, just mere information.
Okay,
Mere information,
okay.
do with what you will.
Okay, fair enough.
Alright. But no, so Prince Lunik kind of nods at you again, and he's like, yes, Count Garand has always been a bit of well, he's always been a bit of a shit stirrer, if I'm encouraged to be frank here.
If we were to maybe say my prince, and this is just an idea, as you know, we are more of a brutish people, so if our idea comes off a little harsh to you, please just let us know. If we were to kill that man, the shit bootlicker, would that be a place for your father to try to make peace with the elves? Say, look, we're getting rid of the racists.
Oh, we can. I see you, Gryph. We can go ahead and wrap up in a second if we need to. So he kind of looks at you very like shocked at first, and then he like actually gives it a bit of thought, and he's like, I'm hesitant to say yes because, well, there's obviously all the different things going on in each region, but I believe that would at least make Roland happy, make him warm up to the king, maybe.
Then that's it. Next session, I don't say this out loud, but next session we're killing the Viserys knockoff. But instead I say to the prince, and then, indeed, instead of protectors of the forest and chasers of the mist, I think we're about to become, well, beheaders of the royal.
And we'll say with this evening of you getting information from the prince and him possibly starting to get his own kind of wild ideas, and Joe cooking up his own chaos in the kitchen, and this new threat of the Court of Mists hanging over your heads. We'll end the session there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
For us to continue and explore in the next session, session 4. Hey, I made it a rhyme.
The session in the session before. Yo. And if you like that video and like to see more content, please drop a like and subscribe to Wolfer28, or give us a follow and a rating on both Spotify and iTunes as Bardic Logs. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you next time.